So these are all the things. You are gonna create an account. You won't have anything. They have ready to make stuff here that are, sometimes you have to pay for them, but they're instructions on how to do stuff. So it's, the Cricut Design Studio is going above just their Cricut machines into a full crafting studio. New project is where I always start. So it should.
A lot of
it should
be
be
free.
free. Don't subscribe. They want you to subscribe.
Yeah, no, it just came up with the big.
Yeah, don't subscribe to anything. Today we're just gonna play with it, and then if you fall in love with it, for sure.
But you don't need to.
You don't need to. So it gives you just a blank canvas. It's pretty much just like a blank slide or Google. There are already pre-done projects. You can bring in things as simple as shapes. If I click on one, it just loads it onto the canvas. There it is. And it will cut out a hexagon if I send this to the machine right now. All of it is just like a piece of clip art where you can flip it, we can group it together. This is just a basic cut. There are images already. Now mine are gonna be a little bit more because I do have paid access, but there's a lot.
You could click free.
Yep. Here. So then I click on it, I click here, and then I click add to canvas. And it'll bring that, and then I just move it. Okay, images, down here, you gotta scroll down, they're gonna hide it, but there's an upload button. And when I click upload, these are some of the things I've uploaded. Here's where I upload an image. This was I did some breakout boxes, and so this was a lock that was just downloaded. If you are in Chrome and you search clip art, and then I save that image. When I'm in my Cricut design space, I can then browse back down to my downloads folder. And this is a very simple, see, you can, depending on the complexity of the image that you're uploading, it will try and remove the background for you.
So it's like a colored picture, it's really good, like you really don't have a black and white, like it's,
So you
what would it do with that?
You can, it would, if I had different colors in here, remember Christina asked like, why were those things in my picture different colors? It will know that there's different colors and it'll put it on different mats for you. So it'll put all the shapes in this color on a mat, all the shapes in this grape color on a mat, all the shapes on a green color on a mat. So you know you've got to run your pink mat through first, it'll cut that shape, and then you just put them on in layers. You can layer things, so you put leaves on, and then maybe the grape one, and then the pink one, and then the dots. The same way you would layer it on a t-shirt. You would layer it here. It's gonna try and do automatic remove background. We can try there. This is very simple, but I can manually go in, like in Castle, I had to manually go in and tell it some of this stuff was, to make some of this stuff transparent. I can come back down here and select and then like click on things. I can zoom way in to click on little tiny details. And what this is gonna do now is when I apply and continue, all that's gonna be there is the lock. Now you can send this through a printer, like you could print this out on, they make vinyl, printable vinyl, inkjet or laser, then, so you can print it out and then cut it. So even like pictures like that, again, you can cut paper too. So you could print out an image and then stick it on the mat, and then the Cricut will print it as well. Send it through your laser printer, regular paper. You could print on vinyl, but think you can cut construction paper with that too. You could cut oak tab. This one I'm just gonna cut and I'm gonna upload, and now it's gonna be part of my collection. And again, when I'm ready, I click on it and I add it to the canvas.
So what if you wanted to put a word on that lock or on that cup or something?
So then I'm gonna do some text. Here's my text. So I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller so it fits there, right? Subtract. Maybe? Yeah. So I wanna subtract the break from the thing, and now it'll cut the letter, it'll type that's subtract.
But it is joined. It is one image. It's
And now
not.
Now it's one image.
Okay.
The first thing you need to do, and we'll make sure that you do, is that your computer sees one of the machines. They're both Bluetooth, so before we go to send these things out, we've got to add the Bluetooth device to your device. Now I'm connected to it, so whichever one you're sitting at. So now I can click making it. So I click make it, but also you can ahead of time, these are all the things I've connected to. Remember we talked about the different colors and how do we know? The hexagon that I brought in was a different color than the two things I added together. See how I put it on two different mats? So if I wanted the hexagon on my t-shirt or on my sticker to be a different color, I would send this through with just a little piece. You can use a 12 by 12 mat. That doesn't mean you need to use the whole 12 by 12 piece of vinyl. You can see here, I'm gonna cut probably a piece of 3.5 by 3.5 inch vinyl, and I'm gonna stick it to that corner of the mat. That way I don't waste out the rest of that piece of vinyl. I usually have the kids pre-cut it because it's a measurement thing, and they work on measurement here. So that's inches, and that's good work with a ruler, and they can mark that out. And then of course, this one, it knows that this is two different ones. So this one I would probably cut a 5-inch by 8-inch piece of vinyl. The mats are tagged with the numbers, they're labeled. However, this one I want to mirror because it's got words. This is going to be important. If it was just vinyl that I'm going to stick, bless you, on my breakout kit, if I want to print this in there on vinyl, I do not have to mirror it because it just becomes a sticker. The back of that is going to be stickered. If I wanted to put this on a t-shirt, I would have to mirror it because you're going to actually be cutting from the back side of the vinyl. So stickers, don't mirror. Heat press, anything heat pressed, anything inked, you want to make sure you mirror it. Okay? And it's as easy as turning this switch right here. I am going to move everything to one mat. So see where I can click on the dots and move this? I'm going to move this to this guy. And then I'm going to move this over here. And then I'm going to come back over here because I don't want to, I'm going to move the object back to this mat. Nope, that guy's staying there. This guy's coming here. So I'm going to line them up so that I can cut like a 12-inch piece of vinyl about 5 inches down, right? And I'm going to just turn on the mirror mat, 12 by 12. Got it. Continue. A bit more pressure. There's a setting when we go back to look at that screen. There's going to be a setting that says a little bit more pressure or a little bit less pressure. So anytime you use a glitter vinyl like this, you want a little bit more pressure because it's thick. The rest of this is pretty thin. We're going to start with standard pressure. We can always go back over it because this is very precise. We're not going to take it off the mat. So these are our mats. They are labeled both in metric and standard form. So here it is 12 inches across and here's 5 inches down. Nope, I haven't cut it. Okay. I'm going to eyeball it. All right, this is vinyl. There are two, this is heat transfer vinyl. There's two sides. There's like this dull, yucky side, and then there's this shiny side. This shiny side, when you're making heat transfers, gets stuck to the paper because this is actually the piece that like protects the vinyl when you heat press it. If you look very closely, you can see this is kind of like, it's got like a little powder part that's going to go down. This is the part that's going to go up. That's why we had to mirror it. That's the yucky part. I'm going to use the ruler to line that up. The shiny part is down. This is here. I'm going to use the guides to hold this in. So it's asking me to set my base material. Non-Cricut, you have to search for it, browse all materials. You're going to type heat transfer, non-Cricut. That's what I have. And then here's where it's saying default pressure. I'm going to leave it default pressure, but if I were trying to cut the glitter part, I might turn, it literally says more. You would just a little bit more pressure. a little bit less and it won't get there. Like it'll cut through that first layer, but then when you try and weed it, like it'll make you pull it too hard. Now that this is talking, there's a little arrow that's blinking on my Cricut, and that's to load the machine. That's when I'm gonna make sure that this is, I'm not pushing it all, but I'm gonna make it sure it's nice and level. And then it's under these plastic clips to go under my roller, and then I just press load. So at this point, my software is done. All the information that I need is in this computer, and it's just asking it to go. So I'm gonna hit the Cricut to go, and it's gonna, I'm gonna just watch it go. We're done. And then this is where Christina's saying load it or unload it. But if this is where I wouldn't touch it now. If I were to send this through again, I wouldn't touch it now. It's kicked it out. It knows exactly where that mat is. You could just hit make it and go through the process, but don't move it. Don't move it from here. Let it go through again. So these are very tacky, and they lose their tackiness pretty quickly. So they come with this little piece, so we always cover this up ahead of time so it's not sticky, but you can see that's the good side. Got a little best tool, your little dental picker right here, and we're gonna weed. So I just start in the corner. Yeah, it's the same one. Don't, yeah. And what this is, if you started the, well, now it's too late to know that I didn't do it hard enough, but this is easy weed, which is nice. Some of the cheap stuff you get, it's not easy weed and it's breaking off or picking, but that's that whole piece. We're getting closer. And then from the back, I actually bought myself a craft light. From the back, I can see the pieces that I want to take out, and I just, like a little dental picker.
It's forgiving. Like if you catch that little center of your
Yeah, you can
O or
put it
center of
back.
your A, you can put it back on the
It's not fun.
thing, and it's forgiving.
Try and do
The
it quick.
smaller the letters that you're cutting out, the more time you're going to spend weeding.
Yeah, and get yourself a good picker.
Yeah.
So see that A, just the little round spot popped out with the A.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use my little picker, and I can see the little spot where it's supposed to be.
It's up here.
Yep.
Is it this one? And you pull it out.
Yep.
You push it down, and you clean that.
And
so
that's how
that
you
it's-
change it as well.
Right. But like if you go cardstock and then you're gonna go back to material, you have to clean it.
So then you take your t-shirt, your white t-shirt, you lay it down, and again, somebody better than me would probably measure where it all hangs out. Yeah, it's just the heat. It's all we're doing is the heat, okay?
So you could cut out just the coffee cup
Yep.
or just whatever.
You could cut that out, and then you could place it wherever you wanted if they were different colors. This is where we're gonna let just the guy do his thing, 25 seconds. And then I let it cool a few seconds, probably 5 or 10, because it seals a little bit better, and I don't want the kids touching hot stuff. Then I'll take it out, and then we wait till it doesn't, they can wave their hand and they don't feel any heat, and then they can take the paper off, and then that's their.
You don't have to worry about putting the Teflon in between, or should you? Or
No, this, because
Because it's
it's got
vinyl?
that paper. Yep. Oh, sorry.
and it's not bleeding through because it's
Correct.
vinyl. So
You can see where it's on there. The only reason I let the kids make the kids wait is for little fingers. That's that way. But it's all down. And then, like, just to be sure, like, this is where, like, if I don't have that Teflon on there, like, that paper to protect it, sometimes, like these, I wanted to make sure that all the little pieces and stuff were on. That's where I might just take it and put a piece of Teflon on it. Especially the glitter stuff, like, it's thick. And just take that manufacturer piece of plastic off and just give it another, it's not gonna melt it. It's meant to be heat treated. Another 25 seconds is gonna be absolutely fine. And then I just know that it's on there. I don't know. That's definitely
Yeah.
on there. I can start to see, I like it when I can see the grain of the material through the vinyl. That's, I know that's on there now.